believe maybe round
Five.
five, sorry, as I missed round 4 last week. So, welcome to the French Circuit de Paul Ricard. I'm Mark Rappy, and with me in commentary is my good mate Matthew Elliott. Morning, Matthew.
Morning.
And we've got our usual pit lane commentator of Brett Keenan. Morning, Brett.
Morning, fellas.
So, Circuit de Paul Ricard, not my most favourite of circuit, is he's only new to the calendar for 2018. I'm pretty sure it was the first time on the circuit, first time on the calendar. We got a circuit itself is 15 turns and 5.8 kilometres long, with 2 DRS straights and a couple of good opportunities to overtake at the end of the DRS straights, and another good couple of spots as well. So very wide runoff, as you can see here by the loading pictures. There's a lot of runoff space, a lot of areas to go wide and get a track validation as well. So should be a good race here today, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully for a dry weekend. As I say that, it's actually wet in qualifying. So Matthew Elliott, we got any predictions, mate? Anything that I missed from last week's Belgium Grand Prix?
Last week we had, I think it was John that won again, if I am correct. I had a lot of stuff going on in my head this week, so
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
correct.
all jumbled. Alright. Turned out to be a pretty good race, though, for Belgium. And Daniel Bell is leading the championship. And this track is probably one of the worst on the calendars. So,
I'm not the only one that doesn't like this track, so that's good news. As we got TNF Owen coming out, Owen Betts, with the first car on the track. He's on full wet tyres, so it's a very wet, slippery sort of a track. As he's already crossed the right line, so that'll be a penalty or a warning at least. Might not get a penalty straight away, depending on how the game feels.
Just to let you in on that, it doesn't actually apply to qualifying. It just gives you a handful of warnings. It's only in the race where you exceed too many penalties. Just to mention also the championship standard. Daniel Bale leading the championship without winning a race. So Daniel will be looking to use this weekend with Engine and John not here to capitalise on that and hopefully get his first win of the season. He did practically win this race last season, if you remember, only to have the win stripped from him, as opposed to Mackenzie being had a penalty taken off him, which granted Mackenzie his first win of the season. So Daniel will be looking to make that amends hopefully today. And just also want to reiterate a bit of a problem with the F2 and the F3 races too. We just want to apologise for that. PSN PlayStation Network error caused both F2 and F3 to be abruptly short. So the finishing results of both of those races are the race result at the time that the disconnections happened, -1 lap. So
Okay.
just keep that one out there.
So Owen will be our first one to start a flyer. We'll get on a few telemetries and whatnot. So here he goes, comes across the line. Now there'll be no DRS, obviously being full wet conditions. So we'll have a look, see how he goes into turn 1. Turn 1-2 is a very tricky complex, because as you get out of turn 1 it goes up into a little bank of a corner at turn 2, and you can't really see the apex of 1 until you get to it. Then you got 3 4s coming around 4 now, and then 5. This sharp little, kind of like a hairpin, but not. It's a bit more than a 90 degree. And you've got long sweeping. Oh, you get to bit tail 6, 7. This is onto the second DRS straight of the two. Personally, I think there's room for a third at the end of this chicane. So here he comes down into the middle section chicane. He's a bit twitchy on these wet weather conditions, as you'd expect. So right here, I reckon there could be another DRS activation point as you're coming out of that chicane, and then in the dry weather, this is a full flat corner. I don't know what it would be like in full wet. And then he could, so he's coming into the final sector now, coming around. This is there's two lines to take that corner. It's very tricky, it's very late apex. Coming into the last couple of corners now. And then he comes up to the final turn. Ooh, very understeery from the look of the view here, and he comes across the line to do a 48.2, and Brad comes across the line to do a 46.4. Daniel comes across the line to do a 45.4. Josh comes across to do a 44.8. So as the track's starting to dry up already, so we've got yellow flags in sector 3. Bailey's coming across the line now. He's going to do a 46.7. So Bailey would be wanting to improve that time right there. Have we got anyone else? Everyone's Addy's next across the line. Can he jump his teammate? We got yellow flags in sector 2. Addy comes down the main straight now. Would have opened DRS and dry. He's a 45.9. So Addy goes to P4. Sam jumps the pole with a 44.2. And then finally the Alfa Romeo comes across at the 205, so he's had an off somewhere.
And Brad's just had an off.
Oh, he has to. We'll just go down to our pit wall. Brett, will these wets make 2 hot laps?
Yeah, just focusing on another situation at the moment. Just keep in mind that at the moment, these drivers are likely to be using a dry setup, because it could be a dry setup for the races. Daniel now makes it a Ferrari 1-2 on the grid. Yeah, just keep in mind of that. I think a lot of drivers will be trying to get as much, if it is going to be dry race, then they'll probably be using as much of this tyre as possible.
Yep, okay. So, we're just watching Tyler there take a few shortcuts to get back into pit lane very quickly. And now I can't actually view
and that's something. That's something you should be doing.
No, he pretty much straight lined all of the third sector, so he was courteous and he didn't just pierce into the side of anybody, so in that respect, yeah, he wasn't doing anything too dramatic. Where's Daniel at? Oh, Andrew, sector 2.
Oh, Cam's had an off.
Cam's had an off. Yeah, so we're getting a few people now coming in and putting on another set of wet tyres. Oh, Cam gets very squirmy coming onto the back straight there. Oh, as Bailey's had a spin coming out of the chicane at the back. Bailey's had an off and he's lost a lot of front wing, so that will if he wasn't already on his in lap, he will be right now. So that will be unfortunate. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. That must just be for Bailey again, is it? Looks to be.
Looks like Sam just slowing down.
Okay, yep. So, Josh comes into P2 now with a 44.2. He's only 1/100th of a second behind Sam, as someone's gone straight on there in front of Josh. Who was that?
Owen, cutting corners.
So there's a lot of this corner cutting, try and get it back into pit lane as quick as possible, get possibly, I don't think you'd get 4 runs. I don't think you got 4 sets of wet tyres, so I wouldn't be overly worried about doing that myself.
No, this was a rule that was decided to be more enforced after Abu Dhabi of last season. We're not to cut corners to get to the pits faster.
Rightio, so a lot of people could be in trouble here. We'll get you to do a virtual lap, Matty, if you don't mind, of Tyler Beasley's flying lap. He's just about to come across the start-finish line now.
Alright. Dry conditions, you would have DRS going down this straight coming into turn 1. You want to brake about 100 meters out. Take this corner, you can cut it pretty good. You want to cut that corner a little bit too. That's the spot where you would invalidate coming out of turn 2. Really hard to try to keep it on the track and keep the speed up. You take a good corner cut there. Want to stay a little on the curb there. Pretty much you want to hit all these curbs. Just make it a nice apex. You gotta be careful not to slide out here. And you'll come onto this straight. In dry conditions you'd have DRS right now. And you'll come down this long straight to a chicane.
Very good overtaking spot here.
Yeah, that one, he took that corner perfect. You want to get on the throttle as fast as you can. Because if you get... if you nail that chicane, you can actually get a good... You could clear somebody by this corner. You don't want to try to pass there though, that's a very terrible spot. Pretty much this whole third sector is hard to pass.
Yeah, it's a very following sector, isn't it?
Yeah. And you got a late apex here.
Yep, that's a very tricky corner there to get right, because you really want to be out wide, but if you get it wrong, you just understeer too far, and you can invalidate or get warnings or penalties themselves.
Now if you do it right, you can actually take the second line and come out wider instead of following the normal racing line and get a good launch out of that turn.
As Josh comes out for another flyer lap, just comes out of the pit lane now. So I do remember last season Bailey and myself had a good scrap for I think it was about 6 laps in the F3 race, and we were toing and throwing positions, and that third sector, from what I remember, was if you're the lead car, it's your safe haven, because they can't, unless if you ultra stuff up, they can't really make room to come past. So it's a good spot to save a bit of DR, a bit of your battery. And
I could highly disagree with you on that one, Mark, given today's race. A few people being a bit opportunistic in spaces that they shouldn't. Just want to bear mention too, one thing about the circuit I think you two have overlooked, I don't know, the ERS function around the circuit is quite disastrous for wanting to do a decent amount of runs, as Daniel's going to get impeded here by Tyler, it looks like, maybe not. But yeah, you just got to keep in mind about how much ERS you're burning. How much ERS you're burning. Tyres could be a contributing factor as well, just keeping in mind about that. You're probably going to see a lot of drivers starting the supers, maybe a few starting at the soft for today's race, but it's definitely worth watching out for drivers like Daniel and stuff to see what tyres they run.
Daniel gets very taily out of that final corner and he calls it quits. As Tyler's overshot pit lane, now he's reversing on track. Jesus. Oh, it's airball.
That's the thing with the ERS on this track. There's not really a lot of hard braking points to actually build up your ERS again. So if you're running too high, you're just gonna waste it.
Yeah. Yep. So Bailey's come out now with his fresh wing and new tyres. Yeah, is this his flyer or is this his outlap? He's coming across the line. What's he going to do this time? 45.7. So no, that was his flyer. He's improved by 9/10 of a second. So still not his optimal pace of what he would be like to be running, but he's still trying to get used to his new steering wheel, and that will take time. But you know, I don't believe that that's a big down of pace compared to what he was doing on the pad. So with 3 minutes to left, if you're not out of pit yet, you'd be waiting for another minute, I'd say. Try and cross the line at the optimal time. But saying that, Sam's probably the only one that's been out for too long. He's already done 3 laps on his wets. I mean, they don't wear ultra quick. They are like a hard compound tyre. So wear rate's not, as he's just straight line to the back chicane there. So I'd just be careful of doing that, Sam.
I think Josh is going to take pole here. Yep.
Oh, Josh does too, with 43.9. Very well done, Josh.
He was 6/10 up coming on into sector 2, so he made up a lot of time coming through sector 1.
What can Daniel and Tyler do? They're on fresh tyres as well. Addy's on fresh. Bailey's taking a shortcut from somewhere. Where's that? Sector 3 by the look of it. Oh yeah, it is sector 3. Owens in sector... Oh, Brad! Has Brad crashed? You got yellow flag.
No, he voluntarily retired.
Oh, okay, yep, he was in pit. Oh, Josh gets... Josh is still going here, he's just coming out of the back chicane now. Not using any ARS, so he might have pulled out of this flyer actually. Not using any...
He's not going to make any time up. He's 3 seconds up on his time, so it's not going to... He's going to just hope you come across the line and do another lap.
Do another lap, yeah, if he's that way inclined to doing that. So, Josh with provisional
he should have plenty of time.
Sam's going to need to take a lot of shortcuts here to get back across. He's just coming out of pits now with 1:10 to go.
Yeah, he's not going to have enough time.
No, he's not going to make it. That's a very poor call there by the Ferrari.
Josh is starting his flyer.
Management.
He'll improve on his pole time.
Daniel's on a flyer as well. He's 2/100ths of a second up on his personal best, I do believe. I don't think it was the purple sector. So here he comes into the back chicane.
Ooh. Josh is like almost 2/10 up on his time.
Oh, so Josh is absolutely flying here.
Oh.
He's finally nailed his car.
Yeah, if he nails sector 2 and 3.
Bailey's in the pits. Owen and Cameron. Who's that gone off? Is that Addy?
Daniel.
Addy's gone off at the chicane. No, it's not Addy.
Daniel had a huge
Owen
one coming through the far sector.
Okay, it hasn't affected Josh because he's in sector 3. So
I think Josh has got pole because Daniel made a huge mistake on the last sector.
can Josh better his time? As Daniel puts it in, as Daniel puts it into the wall across the start finish line, just to ruin his race. So Josh, will he improve?
Josh is going to improve his time.
Oh, he improves him.
He improved by almost 5/10.
By 5, yeah, almost 5/10. That's a very good lap there by Josh. So, Cameron's the only one left to go. Can he better his lap? Possibly get off the back row of the grid. He's coming into the final couple of corners now. We've got the Fanatec sign worked at the background there. Coming around the final turn. He's using all his battery, all his fuel. Comes across with a 46. I didn't quite read seconds.
He didn't improve.
He didn't improve, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen.
So how's that for something there? Daniel, for the first time in his F1 career, out-qualified by a teammate.
Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
And I meant qualified, not out-qualified by Daniel not doing a run. So this is the first time Daniel's actually being legitimately on pace, out-qualified by a teammate. So.
Out-qualified by a teammate, so...
Ooh.
So now we wait and see if it's going to be a dry race or a wet race, or yeah. So now we just wait and see, and we'll get Matthew to do our starting grid. When it all loads up, we'll get into it. Any predictions, gentlemen? Go with you first, Matty.
Oh, if Josh keeps this pace up, I think he's going to have it. Cleared the grid by almost 8 seconds.
Brett?
Or 8/10.
I'm actually going to put my money on Sam. I reckon Sam's got blistering pace in the dry weather, and it is dry weather it looks like, and I reckon, because everyone's going to run, I would imagine everyone will run the super softs. I can't imagine too many people wanting to start on the soft, so everyone will run the one-stop strategy, but I reckon Sam's got the money to win today.
What about you, Mark? Maybe a dark horse pick?
No, look, I'm entitled to follow Brett's predictions there. Sam, all season has been the driver of each weekend, starting from the back and getting up towards the front. So if he has a clean first lap, I reckon he can put some pressure on Josh. I don't want to take anything off Josh's pace, but I reckon we could have a very close battle for the top 3 throughout the whole race, depending on who starts what strategy. So it looks like everyone's on the same tyres. Yeah, so Owen's the only one on softs, so that won't matter too much. Sam's already been disqualified for the warm up. So back to you, Matty, to do the starting grid for our French Grand Prix.
Alright, on pole with a blistering time in the wet, Josh Banks. P2, Samuel Nasser. P3, Daniel Val. P4, Kyla Beasley. P5, Eddie Bettenbaugh. P6, Bradley Betts. P7, Nadir Ziyad. P8, Bailey Ford. P9, Owen Bennett. And P10, Cameron Betts.
Okay, so we got to keep our eye out for Owen. If he can keep up with, the mid-pack, changing strategy around, he could be very dangerous at the end, having a lighter car, being on the quicker compound. So if he can keep up with this mid-pack and not lose too much ground on him, he could be very dangerous at the end of this race. It is 50%, so 27 laps. It is a comfortable one stop. From what I remember, supers onto softs. This is a comfortable strategy. All these guys will know that. So, any last final thoughts, gentlemen?
I just want to see some blood.
Yeah. Turn 1 death.
Oh, turn 1 death is what we're getting. And anyone watching the stream, if there's any questions you'd like to ask, yeah, feel free to ask them, guys. We will try and answer them the best we can. Or if there's any problems with the stream, please let us know so we can rectify it. So here we go as they all start the line up. Cameron's the last car on. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the French Grand Prix. 4, 5 red lights. We get a bit of delay, they all roll backwards. Here we go, they're starting to build the revs. And Josh is away. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Josh has got a good lead. Daniel's already jumped Sam in turn 1. Tyler's jumped. Oh, Sam's had a terrible start. He's down to P5. So Josh has pulled away already. Daniel's right behind him. Tyler's in P3. Addy in P4. Sam in P5. Brad in P6. Nadir and Bailey are fighting here for P7. Bailey's now on the inside. Oh, he's getting squeezed just a little bit. He's left room for Nadir there. And Bailey's finally got that position. Nadir in P8. Cameron Betts in P9. And Owen on the soft compound tyre in P10 here now. That's to be expected, being the harder compound. It wouldn't have got off the line as well as everybody else, but give him a couple of laps.
Now the real test happens, Mark, here. This is the real test. Can Josh hold off the defending world champion, the benchmark of the F1 category?
Yeah, so it's a straight on fight. There's no one here to stop him. And can Tyler keep up? Tyler's been very good lately, showing his race pace, coming in from F3 last season to the pinnacle of the group now, being F1. And I'd be very surprised if Tyler drops too much pace here. But yeah, can Tyler keep up with these two front runners? Addy, Sam's starting to come back at Addy now, so I didn't actually catch. Oh, as Daniel does quickest lap. That's a bit strange to see the car in P2 do the quickest lap.
Josh might have invalidated.
Yeah, Josh might have invalidated the lap. So Sam's right up the gearbox here. Addy is only 1/10 of a second behind him. So a bit of dirty air will be affecting his car, but can he get it run onto the back straight to really... Oh, as Addy goes wide. This might give Sam the thought. He's in overtake mode. No DRS yet, ladies and gentlemen. It's not third lap. He's right in the slipstream. He's moved to the inside. Can he now outbrake him? Oh, there's contact. There's massive contact there. Addy just mustn't have seen him down on the inside now. Sam's back on the outside. Sam's now got the position.
This is not a place to be going side by side.
No, it's not. You really need to be... Oof. And I think Addy's done the right thing there.
About. I was doing that all F3.
So that was a good little bit of a battle there by Sam and Addy. Tyler's dropped a bit of ground here on Daniel and Josh. Owens. Oh, as we got Cameron's been around. So I didn't catch what happened there. As he's retired his car. So DRS is now enabled, which is kind of throwing Owen now out of DRS range on these soft compound tyres. Give them a couple of laps where these supers start to wear and the softs get good as one of the guys leaves the party. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So Daniel's out. Daniel was just out of DRS range, so I don't... Oh, he's just got back within it there at the right spot on the track. So Tyler's now going to come under threat by the other Ferrari of Sam. Addy's going to come under the attack of Brad in the racing point. And Bailey will just be holding back, fighting for scraps, waiting for a good opening there. He won't do anything too silly to damage his car or his race. So Josh is doing well here to hold off Daniel. He's not feeling the pressure. He's 1.1 or pretty much a second in front. Tyler's dropped back a little bit, but now he's starting to find his rhythm. He's holding that second gap to Daniel, but Sam is all over the back of him now. Sam gets a bit drifty out of the final corner.
So I'll just check the race director, and 75% of the field already has 2 warnings.
Oh, as Sam pushes his way up on the inside of turn 1 on the Tyler. So Tyler's now saving battery, and he's not using any.
Now the question is, will Sam attack his teammate?
Yes. Can he get back onto the back of his teammate? Or is he has a big moment before the DRS?
The other question lies in, is Daniel perhaps just letting Josh burn his tyres up by making Josh think he's attacking?
Yeah, yep.
Both running similar ERS level. Yeah.
Tyler's now coming under threat here from Addy, Brad and Bailey. They're all in this big group now. There's a group of 4 of them, all within DRS of each other.
I wonder if Owen's probably starting to regret making the choice he has.
Brad gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, as Bailey's actually jumped Brad now. So I didn't see where that happened, but so Bailey's making up a bit of ground here. So Tyler's already lost out of DRS range onto Sam. This will be his last time of getting it. Oh, he's jumped back in.
Guys, I think Brad's hit the pit wall.
I think he's stuck.
That's going to be an issue.
Oh, there he goes.
There goes the ghost car.
Non-ghosted car, you should say.
Oh yeah.
So
At least he's sporting the new 2019 front wing.
no, he's got all his front wing by the look of it here on my camera. So that
Yeah,
was,
but he's missing all the end plates.
not on my screen, he's not. That's weird.
Yeah.
So
Back to the front.
back to the front, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's about a second away from everyone else, or a touch more, so it's starting to quiet down a bit now. Oh, excuse me. It's starting to quieten down a bit now. So Josh has got a comfortable 1.5 second lead over Daniel. Daniel's then got a 1.9 second lead over Sam. Sam's 1.2 over Tyler. Tyler's 9/10. So this is our closest little battle here from Addy. And then Addy's 2.5 seconds up the road from Bailey. Bailey's got pressure here from Nadir.
Nadir.
Again, so they haven't finished their scrap from lap 1 yet. And then you got Owen Betts on his soft compound tyres. He's not really falling too far back. As Brad now, what's Brad gonna do? Well, Brad's not pitting, so the front wing mustn't be too bad. Just
I think he actually left the session.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's a AI controlled car. So if that's not a unintentional disconnect, he could be looking in at a bit of trouble there for just allowing his car to continue running. We usually ask if you're going to quit, just throw your car into a wall, and then every driver has to deal with the same consequence, whether it be safety car or yellow flag. So, anyway, back to the lead. We'll go back to Addy and Tyler, because these two are... Addy's caught right up to the back of Tyler here. After Tyler's blistering start, he's slowly starting to fall as Addy goes up the inside of Tyler. Tyler doesn't make it any difficult for him. Tyler's trying the switchback, but Addy's got it covered. So yeah, Tyler now have DRS. He's not using battery to his full potential, Tyler. So he's not thinking of making the charge. I wouldn't have thought. Otherwise would have had DRS on the overtake, not just high.
Nadir and Bailey are going at it.
Yeah, so Nadir's right up the back of Bailey now.
Oh, he's weaving in thoughts of having a go, but
yeah, he's trying to have a look at every corner. Maybe just getting Bailey to look in his mirror, just putting him off a touch. Yeah, so this could be a tasty little battle. Tyler's already starting to fall off of Addy, so...
I will say, I've been actually reasonably impressed by Nadir's improvement over the course of the start of last season to now. Looking at him start of last season, he was a few laps down, took his teammate out on the last lap, which was Daniel Vahl at the time. And of course, he's just steadily gone up the spectre, and now here he is battling.
Oh,
Bailey
there he goes.
He's going to go down the inside.
There he goes on the inside.
And done. Beautiful move. Bailey, I don't think, wanted to surrender it, but in the end he didn't have much of a choice.
No, yeah. Bailey's not his usual fight himself at the moment, is he? He's just... I don't know whether his car's not quite feeling comfortable underneath him, but he's going to come under pressure here from Owen very shortly. So we'll go up to the lead. Oh, excuse me, go up to the lead just for a second and check all his battery, and he's not using any at the moment. Him and Daniel have still pretty much got the same amount of battery. Sam's used a little bit more. I wonder if Sam's used a bit more of his tyres though. He's starting to go a bit wide here and there, and very happy on that Ferrari.
Just keep in mind too that Sam's not exactly in a bad spot himself. He's in a position where he could actually instigate an undercut and put the top two in a bit of a situation. So Sam could always pit now. Well, not now, but you know, he could pit a lap earlier than the rest, do the undercut, and then force the other two to change their strategy.
Yeah, it's just whether or not Ferrari would do that. Giving most teams, I don't know whether or not they're in a team chat or what, but in real life the leading car will get to pick first optimal strategy, obviously. So whether or not Ferrari would do that and bring their second driver in first is something that we'll have to wait and see. Tyler's right on the back now of Addy again, still not using any of his battery. Try and get the overtake done in the back straight. So he must feel he doesn't quite have the pace to run with him. Maybe in this third sector, he mustn't feel very comfortable in the third sector leading. Bailey's been overtaken by Owen. So this isn't what the Renault team would be wanting.
Owen will be starting to get up to temp with those soft tyres. So
yeah, with those soft tyres, yeah. So.
but the problem is that for this strategy to kind of work, you need to be able to qualify a lot higher up than what Owen did. So Owen will be kind of regretting the choice a little bit, but now the tyres will start to come back up to temperature. I would probably say now he's in a position where he might not be able to hold the lead at any given stage, even if the top drivers pit. So he's probably lost too much time to make this strategy work.
Yeah, I don't think he ever really thought of top three. You know, third was a big gamble if he could have made it, but you know, definitely a good chance to jump up the grid and get a good point, you know, a good bag of points.
Okay, here we go. So we've got Brad AI now getting potentially lapped. This could be a problem.
This could be a problem, and this is what. Oh, he's.
Oh my goodness me! I think that actually was a tag.
And that there, ladies and gentlemen, is why we do ask you to put it into a wall if you are just going to quit, because that could have changed somebody's.
Sam's going to lose a bunch of time here.
Yeah. Sam just gives him a nudge. So that could have even ruined Sam's racing, giving him a front wing it doesn't look to be. So Sam's lost a bit of time out of that. He's lost about a second and a half. We got a couple of comments here on the live stream. Just figure out what they are. So while this loads, ladies and gentlemen, Brad, how do I rejoin? Brad, if you're watching the stream, mate, you should just be able to click on your car and ask it to, and it should come up with an option to rejoin. I've did that before, but yeah, that's how I do believe you do it. Just click on your car and I think it's take control or something.
You go to spectator menu, pick your name, press square on, press X on your name, and then it should say spectate or take control.
There you go, Brad. As Owen's got Nadar, yeah, so Owen's starting to make a charge.
Nadir, yeah.
Nadir, starting to make a charge now.
Leaders are in.
As Brad's joined, so there we go. Good stop there by McLaren. Get him out in front of Daniel again. So Owen's now in front of the 2 leaders. So will he make it hard for either one of them? Bailey's in. Bailey's out. So Bailey's having a terrible race at the moment, as he just gets time penalty. So Bailey's having an absolute terrible race at the moment. Tyler, Addy and Sam, we are assuming would all come in this lap. Not that Tyler had to worry about a teammate pitting, so I don't understand why he's running this 1 lap longer than everybody else. But yeah, different folks, different strokes. So let's see if Owen at all is. Well, Josh is still 6 seconds behind Owen. Is Tyler's still going? Sam and Addy are both in pits. Good pit stop there by the two big teams.
AI car's taken care of.
So there we go. So thank you for that, Brad. I know you're watching the stream, mate.
Well, as you can see, the undercut worked graciously for both Josh and Daniel on Sam. So Sam didn't take my advice, and he's just got another 3-second time penalty. But yeah, so he'll be wondering if he should have taken that gamble and hit a lap earlier.
Lap earlier than everyone else rather than the lap later. So, saying that, he's got 1 lap fresher tyres, and that will make a bit of a difference at the end of the race, ladies and gentlemen. It won't help now, but at the end of the race. And I'm wondering where Owen would come out. I'd say just behind Addy at this stage. Yeah, maybe just in front of Bailey.
That was a very interesting line Tyler took to get in the pits, actually. Almost looked like a car park.
Josh does the quickest lap of the 33 point. No, Daniel's now taking that off him with 33.2. As I'm about to sneeze, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I was like you're going to sneeze.
Excuse me, as Brett tries to pull the piss.
Someone did the fastest lap, but it was immediately ruined.
Yeah, I think that was Bailey actually just did the fastest lap. So these softs might start coming to him. Tyler's lost a bit. Oh, he's very that lag, or is he skirmish out of there? I can't tell.
Yeah, so Owen has proven me wrong in the fact that he has taken the lead of the race, but he's getting pretty quickly hounded in by Josh. I wonder if Owen's going to just stay to his strategy and hold Josh up, or is he going to come in early? And it's a bit too early to be pushing the.
Yeah, it's a bit early for for the supers at this stage.
Unless he intends to try and go to the ultras at the end.
Well, that is another strategy, isn't it? Go to the ultras. And what would they normally get you, Brett? About 8 laps, 9 laps?
Yeah. Well, in the F3 race for us, it was like 5 laps, but that was with that would have been with a qualifying in-lap, out-lap, in-lap, or out-lap, quali-lap, in-lap. So that's about 3. Yeah. So that's about 3 laps there. So you'd say about 8 laps here, give or take.
Yeah.
Now this will be interesting.
So this will be interesting. Josh will have DRS here when they get on the back straight. So we'll just spectate Josh's car. He's opened the rear wing. ERS is on overtake. Down the inside. Job done.
Easy.
Easy.
But I thought Owen almost looked like he was going to lock up and.
Yeah, I thought Owen was going to spear him in the back, and Josh would not have been happy with that. After his incident at Brazil, if anyone didn't know, Josh was coming over to a P3, I do believe it was, and his steering wheel disconnected on the final turn and put him into the fence, and he ended up P9, I think it was.
Yeah.
So Josh is trying to make amends here after that.
Well, he kind of did make amends in Belgium with a P2 finish, though it could have won if it wasn't for. Well, actually, no, sorry, it was P3. Then he finished P2.
So
there we go.
Owen's in the pit.
So we predict I would say he's going to probably actually come. He might actually probably come out behind Tyler. could even possibly end up behind, actually at the back of the field again. So
Tyler goes quickest.
No, I think he's going to get jumped.
Yep.
Well, he does too.
But he does have the fastest tyre, so he should be able to make amends.
Make amends, so. Might not look like his strategy's worked at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, but give him a couple of laps and he'll really only have a good couple of laps of really good pace, and then he'll have to start saving tyres. It's 11 laps that he's got to do, which is about what the leaders did with a full heavy car, so you know, it's not all just attack and don't worry about tyre life. There's still a bit of tyre life as Tyler's caught up to the back of Addy, so Tyler's really liking these soft compound tyres on this Toro Rosso. He could get back up into 4th here.
Well, Josh is kind of the same.
Addy's gone wide.
Really relishing it.
All side by side, almost. So could these two prove Matt and myself wrong at saying Sector 3 is more of a follow sector? As they're both looking very racy, defending and putting noses where they shouldn't be.
And Tyler's the kind of guy that likes to show you what he can do when you say you can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Tyler loves to prove people wrong.
Nothing against you there, Tyler. Yeah, just your style of driving, mate.
Put him on the spot. I bet you can't race in the Supercar Championship at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Wait for a challenge accepted there. Anyway.
So, Bailey's now attacking Nadal. Okay.
Nadir.
So, Bailey's registering these soft compound tyres as well.
Oh,
Tyler's all this. There's contact. No, that's very unfortunate, and it does look like Tyler's readdressing.
No, he is. Look, he's readdressed.
He's readdressed.
Nadir's just shoved Bailey right off the track at the chicane.
You don't see that too often, so you don't see that kind of contact. Like, you see enough of people kind of, you know, shouldering them off the track.
Bailey's very
lost
wide.
some wing.
Oh, has he lost wing, has he? Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see that. You don't usually see that kind of Biffo Barjo kind of. Well, that's what you see. You see people just kind of escorting each other off the track. Very rare to see an actual incident where you see a full-fledged spin from the person. But you know, good will of Tyler to just get off the accelerator and let.
Yeah, and I was just about to comment on that actually. It's very well done by Tyler not to just keep racing and maybe accept the penalty of the 3-second penalty that he would have got for it. But no, yeah, very well done there by Tyler to get off the gas and readdress the issue.
I was starting to give Nadir a real run for his money at the moment.
Yeah, I was really making these supers to his best contention.
And he'll also be able to now sniff the prospect of a 4th place because of that contact.
Yeah, they're not too far up the road.
Just waiting to see. Nadir's going defensive. Owen's going to go around the outside.
Around the outside, but now it's got the inside. This is where we saw the contact last race, ladies and gentlemen, and Owen's got the job done.
Well, Owens kind of gave one back from Bailey, really, there by shoving Nadir a bit on.
Not as clean as what you would have liked to see it, but job done either way. And now can he push up and get onto the back of Tyler, and can Tyler push back up and get onto the back of Addy?
I will say one thing for another. This has obviously been a very rewarding race for Josh. He's just been able to keep the pressure off himself from Daniel. I just don't know whether Daniel's just not a big fan of France, or he's just. Well, Josh is really good at France. It's a very interesting open-ended question that we probably won't have the answers to, because both drivers have probably downplayed themselves a bit. But just seems like Josh has got the measure of Daniel, and unless something happens to Josh, I don't think he's going to be headed for today's race win.
Yeah, no, yeah, very good drive by Josh, and nothing against our reigning champion, but he's really had no answer to anything Josh, you know, everything he tries to do, Josh has been doing the exact same. So, and Sam in P3, he's had a good race too. He had a terrible start. I think he dropped down to 5th there at one stage, and or maybe even 6th, and now he's back up to 3rd. So Sam's had a good drive too to do the Ferrari 2-3 at this stage and get a good bank of construction championship points for the guys.
And, don't forget too, with John and engine not here, Daniel's going to extend his championship points lead out quite a hefty margin. The win would have put him probably nearly out of reach, but then even second place at the moment, I think he's only 9 points ahead of John at the moment. So you'd almost, if you take a point back, that would be 26. So he's back 27 points. He's about a race ahead of John. Maybe
which is very hard to catch up.
Well, especially with such a short season.
Yeah, it's halfway through the season, so Tyler's caught back up to Addy here. Owen hasn't really caught on to the back of these guys as quick as what he would be wanting to. So we're going to see a continuation of this fight here between Addy and Tyler for P4. We'll keep an eye on the timing screens. Bailey hasn't lost any time. I don't think his front wing's given him as much trouble as what we first thought.
There could be a possibility that the DMI has some front wing damage too.
Had some front wing damage as well, yeah, but they're not losing great amount of time, so damage doesn't seem to be playing a big part in my eyes anyway. So
just giving the viewers a bit of a sense of what's going on with this battle for position 4. So Tyler's got 1 lap fresher tyres than Addy, which can understand a bit of a push. Now you look at Owen's tyres. Yes, they're only 2 laps younger than the other 2, but you're looking at a compound difference. So basically, you could almost say that Owen's tyres could be about nearly 5, 6, even possibly 7 laps fresher than Tyler and Addy's. And at the rate of knots now, he's almost within the DRS range of Tyler at the moment. So maybe Addy is playing a bit of a game now because he knows that he can't keep Tyler off him. Maybe he's now planning to try and back Tyler into Owen and make Owen...
Yep. But I don't think Tyler will play for that trick though. Tyler's that sort of racer. He won't just hang around. He will have a look.
And he's listening in on us too, so he's probably now aware of what could be going on.
Yeah, so... And saying that Owen's tyres, could be that much younger, being the softer compound, but they do wear that much harder. Tyler's on the inside into the chicane. So rolls reversed.
Can we see a repeat? Oh, we're going to have a repeat here.
No, very, very good driving there by Addy to leave all of the space.
I almost had a halfway hunch that Addy might have thought, I'll give you one back.
Yeah, I thought Addy might just put a wheel in somewhere. I thought he was going to throw his nose down on the inside here of this big sweeping rider. So, Addy now on the attack at Tyler. What can Tyler do to defend?
The gap at the front's is kind of swinging. It's going between 2.5 to 2.9 every now and again. So it seems like every corner has a certain strength of a certain driver between Josh and Daniel, and then it kind of balances itself back out. I've personally been paying attention to it myself actually a little bit. Daniel seems to be actually almost quite faster than Josh in the first sector. They kind of sit equal in the second sector, but Josh's third sector seems to be a lot quicker than Daniel, so I wonder if Daniel's car's built more on a straight line.
Yeah, I was just about to say, but that sector 2 really...
Oh, Tyler!
Oh, Tyler's big drift. Oh, no.
Oof.
Ozzy's still losing it. So Owen's now jumped him.
I thought he was on the fence there, just looking at the way he was back in.
Yeah, on my screen he was actually on the outside fence. It just looked like he couldn't get it turned off the fence, like it kept dragging him in.
Well, now that Owen's cleared him, I wonder if there's going to be team rules at play for Eddie to get out of the way and promote Owen up to 4th. That would be quite a good that would be a good drive for Owen. Just, you know, it would make me eat my words based on the strategy choice.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was what I was saying at the start, you know, being on the harder compound at the start of the race with a full heavy cards, not the worst thing. It's what I always used to try and do, start on the slower tyre, finish on the faster of the tyre, and you know, if you know you don't have the pace, you got to switch up your strategy and try and make your strategy work.
How well did that go for you in the end?
Oh look, let's not talk about my F1 career.
No, come on.
Well, it worked a few times. I almost won Bahrain. I had a good battle here with Bailey, being opposite compound, so it does work if you've got the skill, and I clearly don't have the skill, hence why I'm here in the commentary room now. Yeah, thanks for that little dig, Brett. But yeah, it can work. I'm not saying that it's the quickest way around the track, and by all means,
just hold your tongue there for a second here. Tyler's
trying
life a bit tricky.
Yeah, can you get the switch back?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. He's gone inside.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, he pulled it off. I think Owen
Owen backed out of that. Yeah.
I think
so.
Owen's
I wonder if Owen's tyres
have
hit that threshold. Yeah, of being on the worn side more than the fresh.
The gap at the front started to again keep switching. It was just 2.3 a second ago.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
That's the second one.
Oh yes, and Daniel doesn't have any. Although I could have just spoke out of context. And actually, I'll tell you what. I'll have a quick look through the race director and see what's going on. So, okay.
Daniel's only got 2 warning.
Yeah, 3-second time penalty for Brad, Sam, Eddie, Tyler, Josh, first time.
Oh, so Josh has only got
Bailey's
3 seconds.
3. No, Tyler's got 6, Sam's got 6, Eddie's got 6, Owen's got 3, and Josh has just received his 6. So Daniel with no penalty, well, even Daniel with even a... Oh, actually at the moment, even if Daniel gets a 3-second
penalty, he's going to lose.
He loses by 3/10.
Yeah. So...
And Josh, I think, has realised this, and that's why he's turned the wick up all of a sudden, because that gap has shot out to 3.2 seconds when it was 2.9 when the penalty was made. So Josh is probably panicking a little bit now. Daniel would probably sit there and think... Daniel would probably be talking to his race engineer, and he'd be saying, the car in front has 6 seconds of penalties, and he'll be
that's
thinking,
right,
well, I'm on 2 warnings. I'm going to need to not get a penalty here, because if I don't, I can win this race.
Yeah, yep. And as we were saying...
And Josh will have to be careful too, because if he pushes too hard to try and...
he could get another warning.
Well, that's Sam's 3rd, so that's 9 seconds for Sam. But yeah, if Josh pushes too hard to try and make a 6-second gap, he's going to likely end up with a 3rd penalty. So he needs to settle down, he just needs to get in a rhythm, he needs to just hope that Daniel gets another penalty. He doesn't need to go gung-ho, try and pull out a 6-second gap, because he knows he's not going to do that, because Daniel's not going to just sit there and
allow him to do that,
and not let him pull 3 seconds in the next couple of laps, especially now that he probably knows Bailey's now in. There was a front wing change there, I think, and it's ultra soft tyre, so fastest lap of the race.
Oh yeah.
He hasn't left himself very long to do it. He's only going to get...
Unfortunately not worth anything this season, but next season
no.
Definitely...
sorry here, Brett, just to interrupt. Tyler's on the back of Addy once again.
Eddie will be just wishing, leave me alone already.
Yeah.
You've done enough.
So...
But I think that I can't help but feel like there's a bit of a healthy respect between these two. They've been battling pretty much most of all of this season, and I think Eddie would understand Tyler's situation coming from a different category into the big, you know, playing with the big boys, not feeling quite acclimatised. Of course, Tyler started the season. Eddie joined F1 in the third race last season.
Bailey gets another time penalty.
I wonder if anyone's going to react to this. Doesn't look like it, so doesn't look like anyone's too optimistic. Now Josh has pulled that gap to 4 seconds, but
4 seconds, yeah.
I wonder if Daniel was just maybe just looking to the idea of just chilling out, not trying not to.
You can't chill too much because Josh has only got to pull a second lap. You know, and
yeah, you can just if you're right on board with Daniel, just having a look. He's not exactly running that much ERS, and at the same time, if you look at how he's approaching each and every corner, he's taking it very gingerly. He's not really looking to try and get that best exit out of the corner. He's just trying to stay off the apex as much as humanly possible. He must know now, at this point of time, that Josh has got a 6-second time penalty.
Yeah.
Or you don't want to be doing it there, Daniel. That's a real time spot for a corner cut. So the final lap's been instigated. There's only really 4 corners on this, well actually 5 corners on this track that Daniel could get a penalty. Here's one of them now, so heading into 1 and 2. Yeah, look at that. Look how much he's off the accelerator.
Yeah, just to make sure that. Look how much time he's lost. He's lost 7 tenths just in that one, in that couple of sectors of corner.
Yeah, but they say it's better to win by a metre than a mile.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So, and Josh isn't in any threat. He will only drop the 1 position due to time penalties. He's comfortably got P2.
And Sam has 9 seconds anyway, so
yeah,
but I think he'll be angry with himself now that he's. Well, I mean,
he will be, but
over yet. There's still one sector left, and he's got only a second. He only needs to make.
Well, he only needs 9 tenths now, so yeah, he's right on board with Josh for the final sector, ladies and gentlemen. Last lap, he's coming into a little bit.
Daniel's responded.
Tyler's got Addy in the background there, ladies and gentlemen. We will get to that battle in a second. Bailey's done the fastest lap of 31.4, which we were expecting.
So here comes Josh around the last corner.
So here comes Josh around the last corner now. And he can help, you know, hold his head high, even though a couple of penalties would drop him to P2. But he's beaten Daniel on the racetrack on the same conditions. It's just that Josh has got a few too many warnings and copped himself a couple of time penalties.
1.1 seconds, so Daniel claims his first win of the season, and that is pretty. You could almost pretty much guarantee, and this is a race with DNS. That's pretty much guaranteed for a shot at becoming a multiple world champion to join me in the ranks.
Yeah, as Tyler comes across the line for P4. No,
Owen gets P4.
Owen gets P4, so that's that's very good
right,
strategy there.
Tyler had some penalties that.
Yeah. Addy's dropped all the way down from 7th after that, so Addy's lost another position over his penalties as well. So now we'll jump on board Bailey here for the final couple of corners here. I'll get one of the other 2 gentlemen to get our top 3 into the commentary chat. Bailey comes across the line. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was our French Grand Prix. Yeah, Josh, mate, yeah, hold your head high. you held Daniel off on the track, mate. Just yeah, we got to watch these corner cuts. So there you have it. Top three: Daniel Vale in P1, Josh Banks in P2, and Sam. I forget your last name, Sam, but you're P3, mate. Daniel, we'll start with you, mate, being top step. Very wet qualifying there. You didn't quite have the pace. But yeah, thanks to a few corner cuts there by Josh, you've come out with the win, mate. Anything you wanna say, buddy?
Coming into this race, I felt that I didn't have a lot of pace, so I decided to not have penalties in this race. It seems that it has worked out because I wasn't like 1 second slower than Josh, but I was a few tenths slower. But yes, the most important thing, having penalties.
Yeah, and I was just saying to the boys, first time in your career, first time in your F1 career, you've been out qualified by your teammates. Probably something that you don't want to see happen again, isn't it?
No, I don't want to be out qualified by no one, but sometimes happen. So.
I think at the end of the day we all want that, but we can't always get what we want in that regard. But I like your optimism on that one.
Yeah. Have we got Josh in the party?
Yep.
Yes, you do.
Josh, in the party, just muted.
Yeah. Yeah, P2 there, mate. Good qualifying in the wet. You seem to have had the pace over everybody else by, I think it was 4 tenths or 5 tenths of a second there. Yeah, great race. You held Daniel, back there all race. You were never under threat, mate. Just a few corner cuts really ruined your race there, champ. Yeah, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, my quality pace, I felt like it was pretty good, even though I was running a dry setup. I felt like the car was quite stable through qualifying and through the race. My first stint, it was pretty decent at the start, and then it started to fall off at the end, and then I got pushed wide by a slow-moving, Force India, and then I got a penalty.
Yeah, we have seen that. Yep.
And then, I copped another penalty, which wouldn't really make any difference. So, congrats to Daniel, and yeah.
Oh, yep. Hold your head up high, mate. I mean, you beat the best at a circuit that technically he could have won last season, but got screwed over by penalties in the other direction. So hold your head up high. You did a bloody good job to hold off the defending world champion.
Yeah,
no, I'm happy with the result, but it could have been could have been
so much more, unfortunately. But you'll get there, and you're obviously showing that you've got the pace to win. You just need to, like everyone else mostly does. I mean, when you think about it, only Daniel and Nadir were the only two drivers without penalties, so everyone else was really pushing the limits. But just hold your head up high, and we'll move over to Sam now.
Yeah, Sam. I do believe it's the first time up the front of the grid for qualifying. You had a bit of pace there in the wet. You had a terrible start, dropped down to P6, I do believe it was, maybe P5. Worked your way back up, and then once you were in third, mate, you pretty much stayed there. Had a race of your own. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great qualifying. I mean, I like wet conditions, so it really worked for me. Then, I mean, I made an exchange lap because my sector 1 was really slow because I almost spin off in the main straight. But then my middle sector was, I don't know, very good. I mean, I was losing on my other laps 1 second. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I really had pace on the wet. And then my start, I got the start on cold tires because I don't know I collided with someone, so that really put me mm, like not in a good position for the start. So I just spin off in the start, like no traction. I think I got fifth in the start, and then I had to get back to third. Then I had like pace on the super softs. I was closing on Daniel, but then I had like no pace on the softs. I don't know, pretty strange. And then it was pretty impressive to see Daniel not having any penalties in this track, which is quite demanding on that side. Yeah, I mean, we raced, but good points. But if this keeps happening, then will be winning the championship because he's, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 points clear of me, and Jompa didn't even race, so it's gonna be hard.
I can validate that the gap between John and Daniel is now 34 points. So, and it's 44 points between you and Daniel. So, yeah, pretty big mountain to climb for a lot of drivers.
Yeah,
so
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
yeah, but saying that, I think Ferrari have pretty much got the constructions tied up.
Yeah,
Much.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, hey, you're doing a wonderful job for your team, mate. You know, to be there or thereabouts every round. So, yeah,
well,
yeah, hold your head high, mate.
well, I don't wanna be the wingman, but I don't know if I had no chance, so I might be, but I don't want to.
No, well, you've always showed the pace, mate. So, yeah, just a few more, better qualifyings and try and not get disqualified on the warm up lap, and you can have a decent start. And yeah, I reckon you could be pushing at the top two anyway. So, we'll leave it there unless if Matthew or Brett have anything else to add.
All good here.
Yeah. Oh no, it was a great race. Definitely a lot in the way that we've seen. We've seen battling up the front, battling in the mid pack, a few biff and barges, a pretty big serve up in the middle of the race that got perfectly rectified. And I think if things carry on like this, we've got quite the makings of a good championship, especially now that the countdown's ticking down towards F1 2019. A lot of these drivers, I'm sure, will be looking to evaluate themselves, be ready for the next game, and yeah, Daniel looking really strong, could make it two titles in a row. So hopefully John can come back and, well, even John and Josh can come and make things a bit challenging for us. Maybe Engine will come back, and Austria's next, so it's going to be
Austria next. Very
an interesting foray.
It's a very quick lap. So yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it there here from France, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday, and have a safe week, and we'll catch you all next weekend for Austria. So yeah, everyone have a wonderful weekend, and this is goodbye from France.